A good friend of mine with a luxury Airbnb property went with $0 of revenue for nearly 2 weeks until they made one simple change. This one change led to $20,000 in new bookings in less than 7 days. This one simple 3-step change that you can apply to your listings will lead to higher first month revenues and higher Airbnb SEO ranking, guaranteed. My name is Sean. I'm a host of 7 years on the Airbnb platform and have made more than $10 million in Airbnb bookings. And no, I'm not trying to change my voice. I just have a sore throat. So leave a like and let's get into the video. Welcome back, Airbnb family. This video is largely important for any new listing that you will ever create. And if your listing is currently underperforming and your future calendar is unbooked, you might want to use the same techniques right now. It is slow season for a lot of people, so people with empty calendars have to play some catch up to get back on track. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that Airbnb calls their algorithm an interest algorithm, meaning that if you have no bookings, Airbnb is going to assume that your listing is uninteresting, leading to a lower SEO. That's why, even if your listing is not new, if you have no bookings, you should apply this 3-step change to your listing immediately. My good friends Paul and Megan started their very first Airbnb listing. They decided to buy the property because my friend Sean Ray specializes in helping people purchase properties and then put them on Airbnb. So they went the expensive route, and they also spent a large amount of money in their space, $40,000 or $50,000 on the interior alone, and you can tell they did a wonderful job. This is one of the most beautiful Airbnbs that I've ever seen in person, but it is not true that if you build it, they will come. Within their first 10 days, they had 3 one-day bookings, and they were all far in the future. It's early February today, and their single-day bookings are for June, August, September, or November, something like that. They're not making any money right now. Me being super nosy, I went under their listing to take a look because I wanted to know how my good friends knew Airbnb is doing, and I saw their calendar was wide open. So I gave them a call and I guided them through a few key changes that they needed to make right away. Allow me to provide you those 3 steps so you can follow suit. Step 1 is to activate Pro Tools. If you don't have it yet, it's going to be required to make this happen. The easy way to try to get Pro Tools is to go to airbnb.com/multi-calendar, MULTICALENDAR, and hit go. If you're logged into Airbnb and you go load this page, it should give you a different type of calendar, where normally Airbnb's single listing calendar is this top-down, very much like one that you would see on your phone. But the multi-calendar puts the listing on the side, and then days are vertical, and your calendar is just a row that goes like into infinity. And so you scroll left to right instead of up to down on this calendar. Now this will activate multiple important features that you can use. You'll notice on the multi-calendar to the right, when you select any dates, you can change the price on the right side, but you also see that below it, there's a part that says create a rule set. That is a Pro Tools feature that we're not going to talk about in this video. But now if you go back to your listing and go to the price section of your listing, you're going to be able to do a couple cool things. You're going to be able to do length of stay discounts for shorter than 1 week. And this is going to be super important because step 2 is to add a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day discount. Regardless of if you're using my exact pricing strategy that I teach on this YouTube channel, you're going to want to consider the fact that a 4-day or 5-day stay is a stay that you want, but most of your competitors only have a 7-day discount, leaving a lot of customers behind. 3-day stays, 4-day stays, 5-day stays are great. 1 and 2-day stays are fine also, but they start to make your calendar harder to book because a booking for just Friday makes it harder to get a Friday and Saturday. A booking for Friday and Saturday makes it harder to get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday booking, right? So filling up your calendar, you want your very first bookings to be bigger. And that way you can get more days booked with less customers and get more total end of month revenue. So even if you don't use my exact strategy, consider giving a 20% discount for a 5-day stay if you're giving a 20% discount for a 7-day stay. Whatever you're currently planning on giving for a weekly discount, give it for a 5-day discount, and then knock a few points off of that and then give something close on a 4-day. My listings, I overcharge, and then I apply a 3-day discount of say 12 or 15%, a 4-day discount of 18 or 20%, and then my 5-day and 7-day discounts tend to be in the 30% range. And my monthly discounts can be 40% or even 55% monthly discounts. That's because I'm overpricing. I allow 1-night stays, but I don't want them to get booked for cheap. So I raise my rates about 30% more than my competition. That's a nuance in my pricing and SEO strategy that you don't need to copy. Just know that that's what I do. In your case, if you think that your daily rate is fine, you think that people will book a 1-day or 2-day or 3-day stay at your daily rate, Well, consider the fact that whenever you get a booking, the day before and the day after, they get much harder to book. You're going to need to change those prices anyway. So you might as well incentivize a 5-day stay and see if you can get longer bookings initially. So give that 20% or 25% discount on a 5-day. This was the first major adjustment that Paul and Megan made after we activated Pro Tools, which is step 2 in our process. There's other stuff that they needed to do that's not part of this very specific change, but you should know that other stuff will affect your SEO. And this is a great time to take a look. You want to make sure that all of your text boxes are full. There's one that is about the space, neighborhood, getting around, other things to note. The more text boxes you fill, the more complete your listing looks and the more Airbnb will boost you. Make sure that you have at least 8 photos, none of them being vertical format. They all need to be landscape format. Make sure that your hero photo has a good amount of contrast against your competitors. We have videos on all that kind of stuff, but this is a good time just to do a double check on all the ranking things that your listing might need before you go back into your multi-calendar. Now to step 3 of the 3-step system. Step 3 will benefit you if you understand the concept of lead time. Whenever you make a brand new listing, the price for today or tomorrow cannot be the same as the price for 6 weeks from now if you want to maximize your revenue. You should create your base prices based on what you think somebody will book far in advance. For a 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom property, you should expect that people are booking 3 or 6 months in advance, like Paul and Megan's very first bookings. What you'll find, though, is that somebody booking within 6 weeks or within 4 weeks, those group sizes are going to be smaller, and you have less time to take the risk on getting a full rate booking. Your daily rate may need to come down as much as 40% within a 10-day window from what your normal prices are. So what I had Paul and Megan do is they took their rates that are normally $600 on the weekdays and $1,200 on the weekends, and they made some finite adjustments. They started to lower their daily rates to $500 and then $999 for their weekends, and then even as low as say $750 or $800 a night on their weekends, and as low as $350 on their weekdays coming into mid and end of February. That discount combined with their 2-day, 3-day, 4-day discounts got their today, tomorrow, next day, next week, next weekend all booked up. And sure, they didn't get $1,200 a night on their weekends, but they weren't going to get booked otherwise. And their weekdays, they didn't get more than $500 a day on average for their weekdays over the next 20 days, but those days were not going to get booked otherwise. If you are behind pace or if you're behind your healthy amount of lead time for your property, you need to catch up. And lowering your prices to be price competitive is how you get your calendar full. And once your calendar is healthy, you can start to really enforce your premiums in the future. And if you study pace, if you study lead time, if you study contribution margin, if you understand what an orphan day is, all this stuff will start to make sense as you host. So whenever you launch a new listing, you should always plan that your today, tomorrow, next day prices are going to be low and that you're going to slowly raise your prices into 6, 8, and 10 weeks from now. Instead of using Airbnb's 20% discount for new bookings, which is highly dangerous, you're going to just discount the rates manually. The reason why is if you give the first 3 people 20% off, well, Paul and Megan's first reservations were July, August, September, November. Single night stays far into the future, they're not going to get reviews for those 3 bookings until July. And that's a waste of money, correct? So instead, their very first reviews now are going to be for today, yesterday, 2 days from now. And they're going to get reviews rather quickly because their prices are low enough to get like quick little bookings. And then they're going to build up a bunch of reviews, a bunch of views, a bunch of booking revenue, a bunch of occupancy, and Airbnb is going to push that listing up in the rankings. And now they will forever be successful because they followed good lead time best practices. If your listing is small, you really only need to drop your rates for the next 2 weeks. You're going to drop your rates a lot for today, tomorrow, the next day. You're going to drop your rates maybe by 25 or 30% over the next week, 20% off the week following, but you're going to start to get reviews rather quickly. And 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now, your price can be competitive against your competitors or even more expensive than your competitors if you use my strategy. The larger the property, the further out you're going to have to start to tape your listing prices down. Your listing price might even compete with a 2-bedroom property. If you have a 4-bedroom house right now or a 5-bedroom house, the price that you're going to get today or tomorrow is very close to the price that you would get if you had a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom property. The reason why is you're going to get booked by a group of 2, 3, or 4, or 5 persons today or tomorrow. You're not going to get a booking from a group of 14. And it's the group of 14 that can distribute the cost of a big expensive booking. And that's why big houses make so much on Airbnb. In a very near future video, I'm going to teach you a couple new tricks, things that I've quite recently learned on ways to get your listing to perform better on Airbnb. Stuff is always changing out there and I'm always looking for new stuff and I'm eager to show you a couple new things. So stay tuned. If you have any other video requests, please put it in the comments. And you can also ask me questions. If you want me to ask Paul and Megan some questions and get back to you, put it in the comments and we'll do that. All right, guys? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.